You drafted that player. You developed him. You made him the star that he is. Now you have to keep him, or else he'll walk to your division rival and laugh about it as your broken-hearted fans blame you. Welcome to the wonderful world of free agency. But even as you lose players, you also have the opportunity to acquire them. Rising stars, fading heroes, and underrated role players can all be yours if you outmaneuver those other conniving owners. Let's talk first about your own free agents. How do you know if someone's about to walk, and how do you keep them from doing so? Click on your team name in the menus and then select Manage Roster. You'll see your list of players, and you'll see the years remaining on their contract. Once the years remaining hits 0, that means they're about to hit the free agency market. Can you keep them from hitting the open market? Yes, at least for some of them. You can opt to keep 2 players from hitting the free agent market by giving them long-term contracts for 5 years or more. If you do that, they grin and sign the contract and they're back in the fold. But you can only do that for 2 players. Your option to do that will arise at the start of the unlimited free agency period, which occurs in July, right after the rookie draft. If you don't re-sign the impending free agents, they'll stay on your roster until someone else signs them or until the 53-man cutdown occurs. But make no mistake about it, if their contract is up and you don't re-sign them, they're leaving. Or are they? You actually still get one more chance at them. If you don't give a player a long-term contract, he goes out on the free agent market and the people bid on him. If someone wins the bidding war, you'll get a notification, either when you log into the free agent marketplace or by email if you have your notifications turned on. That notification will give you 24 hours to make an offer that beats the winning bid so you can retain the player. If you don't, he's gone and will probably tell the press how short-sighted you were. So that's how you lose players. More importantly, how can you acquire free agents of your own? In the big picture, there are 2 periods of free agency. Unlimited free agency occurs in a weekly cycle through the Sandbox offseason from August to December, and we'll talk about that first. Limited free agency occurs on a one-time basis in January before the season starts. All free agency occurs during the Sandbox offseason, which goes from August through January. You cannot acquire or sign players during the Sandbox season. When free agency starts, you'll find the tools to bid on free agents under the Drafts menu. Select Free Agent Auction. The unlimited free agency period runs from August through December and includes all NFL players who appeared on an opening day 53-man roster in the NFL that season. Every week, players from 1 or 2 randomly selected NFL teams will be added to the free agency pool so that new talent will arrive for your consideration every week. You'll be evaluating them by their performance and prospects in the actual NFL games that are occurring. The process for acquiring free agents is simple but competitive. If you go to the Drafts menu and select Free Agent Auction, you will see 3 tables if you scroll down. Let's start at the top. The first table includes free agents who are currently available for bidding. You can click the headers and sort those players by name, position, NFL team, current Sandbox owner, if any, current high bidder, if any, current high bid, if any, the time remaining before the player signs a contract with a high bidder, and boxes for you to make a bid should you wish to do so. Bids are made using available salary points, which are shown for your convenience in the upper left corner of the screen. Once a Sandbox team submits a bid on a player, a timer starts. If no other team submits a bid within 3 days or 72 hours, the player opts to accept the high bid and join that team. While the 3-day countdown is underway, other teams may enter a bid that is at least 1 salary point higher than the current bid. Anytime a higher bid is submitted, the 3-day countdown starts over again. The process continues until the high bid is not beaten for 3 days or until the free agency period ends. Once you win a bid for a player, his contract length is automatically calculated based on his contract cost. Higher contract amounts produce longer contracts. Recall that if there's a current Sandbox owner, that owner will have the right to beat the high bid if a player agrees to a contract. If you scroll down from the first table, a second and third table appear, as if by magic. The second is a list of free agents who have been signed, along with their contract amounts and new teams. The third is a list of free agents who are not yet available for bidding during the unlimited free agency period. This table shows the week that they will become available. The third table will be empty during the limited free agency period since all remaining players will be available. During unlimited free agency, roster sizes are limited to 80 players. Your bidding is also limited by the number of salary points you have, so you can't just bid willy-nilly on every player like your Jerry Jones. After the unlimited free agency period ends, teams will cut down to 53 players. We then enter the limited free agency period. It functions identically to the unlimited free agency process with 2 exceptions. First, the 53-man limit is enforced instead of the 80-man limit, so teams will be cutting players who will enter the limited free agency pool. Second, players who were not on an opening day NFL roster enter the pool. For the most part, the limited agency period will be your final chance to fill gaps in your rosters, perhaps capture some good prospects who were waived by other teams, and occasionally claim a few jewels who emerged on NFL teams mid-season. So that, noble owners, is how free agency works. May you use this tool to find the Reggie Whites of the league and avoid the Albert Hainsworths.